Hello. I'm a veteran. I'm a Green Beret. I've been blown up. I've lost my legs. And I think that my experience with death gives me a unique and different perspective on life. And I'd be grateful if you listen to my words today on Veterans Day. Veterans Day aims to honor people who are or have served in the U.S. military. Each veteran may have their own reasons for joining and their own stories of their time in service. But at a fundamental level, all veterans opted to sacrifice many personal freedoms by swearing an oath to, quote, support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. This is our common cause because we all verbally swore those words in front of our God and government. The Constitution is the result of an enlightened period in history. It was written within the context of existence with large groups of people who aimed to avoid the mistakes of the past, establish a reasonably free society, and ensure this construct could survive sedition in the future. What, ultimately, is the purpose of life? I can tell you it isn't money and power, or war. It's enjoying, celebrating, and loving every aspect of living in between bouts of unavoidable suffering. American founding fathers summarized this as life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Said another way, enjoy whatever this is without oppression and make it better over time. Everyone deserves life, freedom, and joy. And so a veteran has knowingly or unknowingly pledged their life to this purpose. Supporting the Constitution means helping people lead free and happy lives. And by extension, if people unnecessarily suffer, it's within the form of the good and our sworn duty to help make things better. Personally, this humanistic philosophy is not limited to veterans. It makes logical sense to improve civilization over time, bringing more people into liberty and thus happiness. Serving a country is noble, but the military is not the only way you can. Whether serving local government, the Peace Corps, or just simply being a good person, service to a greater good is not limited to military service. Also note, regardless of being a veteran, fomenting derision, repressing populations, or treason has no basis in compassionate logic. Veterans Day should be a reminder of what binds us together in supporting and defending the Constitution. But observing veterans themselves is a blatant window into viewing the intense and tragic cost of war. Some veterans are dead, some are blown apart, and others wounded with the imprint of dying children and friends. War is a last resort, not a form of policy. As a civilization, we have the monetary means and intelligence to avoid the unnecessary suffering of war. Besides, as we've seen, no one really fucking wins. It was Secretary of Defense Mattis that encouraged me to use my experience in war to become a more compassionate person. This does not emasculate a man, it makes them more human. It helps them aim to reduce the suffering of others instead of adding to it. I believe this day can be an inspiration. To non-veterans, thank you for your appreciation and our sacrifice. I urge you to consider what is important in life and how you can facilitate life, liberty, and happiness in all people. To veterans, I appreciate our bond and our common oath to support and defend the Constitution. Please consider the root of our oath as a rally cry to support all people. And while continuing your selfless service is a noble endeavor, please find the appropriate ways to take care of yourself. I understand the cost of war and what it can do to someone. And all I can say is if it feels like the bottom, it won't always be that way. You aren't doing anything wrong, and you may have physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual wounds. When you can, seek holistic ways to heal, and it'll upward spiral. And know that though I may not know you, I'm rooting for you. And we need you to help make things better. So keep putting one foot in front of the other, even if you ain't got any.